Ed here, another edition of Ed Talks. Want to welcome everyone and my good friend, JoAnn Klinedinst. JoAnn, welcome to Ed Talks.
Well, Ed, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So one of the reasons we're together, maybe the main reason for this particular episode, is on Monday, which is like less than a week away, is the HIMSS Executive Summit. And I'm so excited because I've gone to a couple of them previously, loved every minute of it. And I just want to talk to you about it because you are the mastermind behind it. Tell us about the HIMSS Executive Summit that's coming up on Monday.
Sure. So happy to do so. So it really started with an executive advisory board. So we looked at folks who had attended the event in years past, and we asked them to help us plan it. And boy, did they help us. We came up with 20 different topics. And how do you pack 20 different topics into one day event? That's both an art and a science, but we did it. And we have a phenomenal program. But I do need to say we have a phenomenal program being led by a phenomenal MC. Ed, thank you so much for serving in the role of the executive host for the Executive Summit. So that was really important for the group as well. But to focus on what we will be looking at for this day really centers around the complex environment that we're in, delivering value, looking at the convergence of outcomes and ROI, and really getting the technical folks and the clinical folks across the executive offices coming together and interacting and engaging in various types of educational programming. Also, we embed a lot of networking opportunities into the event as well, because networking is everywhere. Education is everywhere. So we intentionally tried to do that as well. And then with the help of the advisory board that represents both domestic as well as global CIOs and other C-suite representatives, we really looked at the structure of this program. And many of you may know me. I work in peer-reviewed content. I've worked for years in curating the HIMSS Global Health Conference educational programming. And that really defines who I am, because regardless of what I'm doing, that's the approach I take. It's the approach in the way that adults learn and how they learn and the structure that we follow. So, we have a title that aligns to the summary description, which then aligns to learning objectives or outcomes. And with that, it's really fitting the puzzle pieces together. So we kick off with looking at sustained value across the healthcare enterprise. And we have Bob Garrett, who's the president and CEO of Hackensack Meridian Health. He'll be talking about how to harness the power and promise of AI. So we have a bit of AI in the program, but it's not capitalizing throughout the entire agenda. So Bob Garrett, some of you may remember, was the opening keynote at HIMSS25, and the work that's being done at Hackensack Meridian Health is just phenomenal. So he's here to tell us his story. And hello, as a dog lover, I say hello as well. Aww.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Our special guest here was climbing up on me. But yeah, JoAnn, you've been amazing in terms of the entire industry, just all of your leadership through the years. I owe a lot of my career to you, and obviously you have a team. A lot of my career to you. You're just one of those individuals who tirelessly gives of themselves and makes amazing education happen. Yeah, so it's going to be great having him. I remember him from 2024 keynote for the overall. I think the whole agenda, right, is action-packed the rest of the day.
It certainly is. And Ed, I just want to rewind back to your comments about me giving back to the industry, because yes, I do have a lot of initials after my name. I continually professionally develop. I expect others to. I do it myself, but each one has a purpose and a place. And that's how I just continually engage and the people I meet. And it really has been a passion across my career for just working with health information and technology professionals. And I remember when it wasn't cool to work in health IT, and someone said to me, you need to go over to the for-profit world because you're going to get paid a lot more. And I'm like, nah, I really like this healthcare thing. But in addition to Bob, the way we also are demonstrating sustained value across the enterprise, we're welcoming the president and CEO of the Project Management Institute, Pierre Lamont. And he and HIMSS' very own CE, Hal Wolf, will have a fireside chat on the results of extensive research that PMI has just conducted, and really the focus on project professionals and how executives really need to be aware of the latest trends. And I've always said that 99.9% of what happens in a healthcare setting is a project. So this is really taking it to the executive level and really driving home some of the results from this particular study. And then we have a panel presentation sponsored by Arcadia, where we're going to look at acting on abundance of the data that is just being harnessed everywhere through the electronic health records. And this panel will be focusing on data and AI. So then we pivot to the latest approaches around shared governance. And we have a session where we're focusing on, this is another panel presentation, and this is brought to us by Philips. This will be about creating precision patient care and the tsunami of where we are in this world with data, and really trying to achieve and address exceptional patient care delivery. And then we focus on ROI and outcomes. And this is actually, for those of you that may follow me on LinkedIn, you'll see I have a couple of engagements where I say, public service announcement, ROI is not just a finance thing. So we welcome Jack Phillips, who's chairman of the ROI Institute. And I actually met Jack as well as Patty Phillips, who is CEO of the ROI Institute, at one of my educational conferences. And it's like ROI in education. So when I was prepping for our speaker call, and there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, but when I was prepping for the call, I read their book and I'm like, oh my goodness. The book's entitled Show the Value of What You Do. It's going to be a handout. And it's like, my goodness, educational programming, so much that we're not doing to show the value. So I'm really excited about that session. And then we have another session with Roche, who is our final panel, sponsored panel on acting on abundance. Again, harnessing that data.
Yeah.
And we would be remiss if we didn't talk about leadership.
Yes.
And I've been doing this a long time, and I have different sources of where I find speakers. But we're really, really excited to welcome Hannah Pryor. She's CEO of her own organization, and she's going to be talking about pushing limits and igniting excellence and the mindfulness around that. So she's going to open us after Bob Garrett provides a welcoming opening. And then our closing keynote is Neil Prashika, who's going to be talking about the happiness equation and the science-backed habits to cultivate positive mindset. And what's so interesting about these two, looked at them with the assistance of a speakers bureau, and I picked both of them. And Hannah shared with me that she has bookended with Neil in other conferences. So it's like, I have dozens of people to pick from, but these two really help drive the agenda that the advisory board really worked with me to create. And then within that, we talk about leadership legacy. Who doesn't want to talk about the person coming behind you? It just makes good sense. So we have Dr. David Schreiner and Sarah Johnson. Yes, sorry about that. Sarah Johnson. They will be speaking about this whole methodology about a leadership legacy. So that is the actual day. We open with breakfast based on food. We close with a closing reception, again, based on food and your favorite beverages. But the executive experience extends beyond that because it does kick off on Sunday with the golf outing feature actually sponsored by Carasoft, and it will benefit Alex's lemonade stand. And then you have a hat. Yes, you do. Good for you, Ed. So that's the golf outing. And then we go into the opening reception that will be at Caesars. And then from there, Monday is the executive summit. Then we go into the actual opening of the conference Monday night. So it's just here's a day and a half of tremendous opportunities to network with so many people. And then we also have educational programming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have 75 sessions that have been identified by the American College of Healthcare Executives that align to their FACHE credentials. So those that hold board certification. And you don't need to hold board certification to attend those events. It's just a signal that this is exceptional educational programming designed with executives in mind. And then Tuesday evening, there is an MJ1 opportunity. So that's Michael Jackson. It's a Cirque du Soleil. I've had an opportunity to go there. It's unbelievable. We have a lounge Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's sponsored by Klinedinst. And then the networking, it just continues.
Yeah.
Through our closing keynotes. So it's an action-packed week. I am so excited. Of course, we're opening our conference with Samsung Medical Center, one of the most technically advanced healthcare organizations in the world. And they're bringing their friend called Liku. So I will leave it at that. President and Dr. Park, as well as Dr. Son, will be engaging in a fireside chat with Hal Wolf, and we'll add Liku to that conversation. And then Wednesday, we welcome General Paul Nakasone, retired U.S. General. I just can't tell you, he's fascinating. Again, that's all the work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then we're all flipping for Simone Biles. Again, just the healthcare story that she has, working with her team, the summit, the conference, it's a phenomenal opportunity and investment in you person.
It just gets better and better every year. I don't think I've missed a HIMSS. I'm not sure if I have in my career. They just keep getting better and better. I love it. I love the executive summit, the whole approach, the idea. And we'll put information in the show notes and in the comments on how to register because we still have a couple days to register. So I look forward to seeing everyone there. I'm so glad to be part of it, JoAnn. Thank you for having me. And I'll see you in Vegas.
Okay. Viva Las Vegas.